we have very smart people on the show with respect to what they're putting out and how they're editing everything and putting it together. But there are multiple moments that I think are going to be very, very eye-opening for our viewers at home.
There's no new episode of The Bachelor this week, obviously. So what can you tell me about next week's episode? I assume we're picking up right at the potential Take Back Rose Gate situation.
Yeah, we've got a cliffhanger right now for sure. Sierra has just sort of informed Clayton that Cassidy may have a quote unquote friend with benefits. Of course, Clayton is at this point sort of established a pretty strong connection with Cassidy right out of the gate. He obviously just gave her a group date rose, which prompts him to ask me at the end of that last episode, has anybody ever given a rose back before? So that's sort of where we are right now. You know, one thing people need to know about Clayton's season in general is that on The Bachelor, there just are no rules. And Clayton is willing to do whatever it takes to find his person. He's going to take risks. He's going to take chances. We've already seen a little bit of that in the first couple episodes, but I think fans moving forward, they've already seen some of it. They're going to see things on this season they haven't seen in 20 years of watching The Bachelor. And we're sort of at a pretty big moment right now with respect to kind of learning about Clayton and what he's willing to do moving forward to find his person.
The most shocking thing that is going to happen this season, is it something we've been teased in the trailer, or is it something we don't even know about yet?
No, it's something we don't know about yet. I know. I know.
Well, can you tease me anything else about that? I love to hear it.
It's like you're gonna have to tune in and watch. I know. It's like we have very smart people on the show with respect to what they're putting out and how they're editing everything and putting it together. But there are multiple moments that I think are going to be very, very eye-opening for our viewers at home as the season goes on. I know we always say it's the most dramatic season. Clayton's season's the most dramatic season ever. Because there's so many things that have never happened before. And I think as the host, there was moments where I was kind of sitting there going, whoa, like this didn't happen on my season. I don't know where we're going right now, but yeah.
What did surprise you the most about coming back to the franchise in a host role?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think number one was the nostalgia coming back. I remember that first night being back at the mansion and seeing the women get out of the limo and Clayton sit and waiting for them, and then at the rose ceremony that night. I just had this tidal wave of emotion come back. It's always funny how you think you remember everything from seminal moments in your life. And there was just so many great feelings that came back, nervous feelings, excited feelings, having watched that. Two, what I'm learning is as the host, you really do wear a lot of hats. Sometimes you're an advisor role, or you're a soundboard for Clayton. You know, oftentimes I was a cheerleader for Clayton. You're a therapist at times. And I think it's really, as I've gotten to know him so much better as time goes on, really a guy who I think is so genuine, so sweet, caring, and deserving of this opportunity, but also someone I'm really rooting for. Like, I want Clayton to find his person. I know how important it is for him. We all saw that in Michelle's season when he cries talking about wanting to get married, wanting to have kids. And, you know, he knows he's nervous because he knows that this is such a big opportunity for him. And as the host, you know, the pressure on me is to try to help him get to where he wants to go.
Clayton did get emotional on Michelle's season. We see him get a little emotional in the trailer. There's this I'm broken moment we're kind of seeing teased. Can you tell me anything about what leads up to that and how you maybe helped him through what could have been a breaking point in his journey?
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I think part of the host's role is trying to empathize and sympathize with Clayton. Having been on the show myself and having gone through a little bit of the emotional roller coaster, there's just nothing you can do to prepare yourself for this role. Even having been on Michelle's season, it's still not enough. And there's just things that Clayton is going to figure out on his own journey by himself. And he's really the only one that can do that. I can certainly guide him and give him some advice, but ultimately all of our journeys, bachelors and bachelorettes, are unique and different to us. And so I think Clayton goes through the spectrum of emotion, the whole gamut. On night one, very optimistic, very excited, the art of the possible. You know, my person's here, I feel it. And then the feelings of self-doubt creep in. It inevitably happens. I know it happened on my season, not wanting to pick the wrong person, send the wrong person home. Always have people that are there for the right reasons. And I think it's at least speaking on my own experience, it can be emotionally exhausting. And when you start doubting yourself, it can be tough. And so I think you're going to see Clayton kind of run that entire gamut throughout this year. And I think, what's great about him is that he really sort of, he surrenders to this process. He lets himself go to really give himself the best chance, which I think you have to do. And when you do that, you can become pretty emotionally vulnerable. And I think, Clayton figured that out this season.